Everybody trying to be content creators and trying to go viral. You want to go viral?
Okay, you want to go viral. Let's go viral then.
Say less.
Let go.
Let's embrace it. Let's love it. Let's enjoy it. And let's give them the experience of their life. That's Roswell for you, baby. Come together. And guys, this is Speaking Out Loud. I appreciate you guys joining us. Don't forget to share and dance like you just don't care. It's early in the morning. Let's have a day. And like I said, be a friend. Tell a friend something nice. It might change their life. Shout out PMS.
Good morning and welcome to Speaking Out Loud. I am your host, Rene Ruiz, and along with me is the man with the buys, the man with the tries, the one with the broad chest, the one, the only, John Borba.
Yo. What is going on?
Good morning, brother. How are you this morning?
I'm doing all right this morning. Yep.
You woke up with a little bit of juice, yeah? A little bit of juice?
I've been doing that lately. Now that we're more accustomed to our morning schedule, waking up with a little bit more juice is normal.
I love it. Yesterday, JB, on the show, I got a little excited about the Cowboys win. We spent about pretty much the majority of the show talking Cowboys Eagles. That's how excited I was about that win yesterday. But last night we didn't even get to it. I got so caught up on the Cowboys Eagles that we forgot there was a Monday Night Football game going on. And now, was that us kind of disrespecting the Carolina Panthers because we just assumed that the 49ers were going to do exactly what they did? And they ended up pulling off a victory 20-9 last night. The 49ers improving 8-4, keeping themselves at the 7th seed. And as I said about 2 weeks ago, JB, you weren't on the show this time, but you were in the comments I did see. So I appreciate you tuning in, as I appreciate you guys waking up with us this morning. I announced that 2 weeks ago, I announced and I celebrated with my 49er friends and family and watchers of the show. And I told them, congratulations on making the playoffs. Because to me, it felt like 2 weeks ago, based on the 49ers schedule going forward, it was a moment that I felt like I could overreact to and say, hey, 49er fans, let's celebrate because we've gotten an early pass to the dance. So get your salsa shoes ready and let's have a celebration. And I think that's exactly where we're heading. The 49ers really put it on them. Christian McCaffrey had himself a game. Bryce Young completed 18 of 29 passes for 169 yards, a touchdown, and 2 interceptions in the Panthers' Week 12 loss. Not a great game from Bryce. Brock Purdy had a tough one too, but he did end up going 22 for 25. Brock Purdy completed 22 of 25 passes under 10 air yards for 168 yards and a touchdown in the 49ers' Week 12 win over the Carolina Panthers. And last one, JB, is my boy who almost won me my game in my Dynasty League, Christian McCaffrey, who has been a sparklight to a lot of fantasy owners this year. Kind of a resurgence, kind of a sorry for what I did for you in the past, and now I'm giving back from my injuries. Christian McCaffrey gained 142 yards on 31 touches in the 49ers' Week 12 win and forced 11 missed tackles, tied for the 5th most.
Let me ask you.
Go ahead.
Brock Purdy coming back, 1 touchdown, 3 interceptions. Is there a little bit of panic, or is it just him knocking off the rust?
I think it's rust, but I do think it's a little bit of just being away from just rust. I guess that's exactly what I was
being away.
A little bit of rust, and then just Carolina's defense is gritty. J.C. Horn got hurt there. What was it in the second quarter? He was out because of concussion. He went into the concussion protocol after that pick the second pick that he had. So really, I'm being a little hard on the Carolina Panthers, but it seemed like that J.C. Horn injury or concussion really changed the dynamic of that team defensively. I feel like offense, they kind of been what they've been all year, just a bit inconsistent. It all relies on that run game for the Panthers. But, yesterday, E-Rob's going to be joining us here in about 5 minutes, and then we'll have Tim joining us at 7 a.m. to talk college football and the college football week that was. But me and E-Rob were talking about what's the path for the Dallas Cowboys to get into the playoffs.
I don't
talked
know
about that yesterday.
You got to hope somebody calls it off.
You would be surprised the conversation that actually opened, because whenever
I can see it, dude. I can see the conversation that opened up with you, dude. All these hypotheticals, these
No, beautiful.
anomalies, these
They're beautiful
analogies.
hypotheticals. We're right in we're right in the grid of it. Playoffs are upon us. A bunch of teams were eliminated. Unfortunately, the Minnesota Vikings felt like they were eliminated last week. I think there's still like a 0.02111111%
Got to
chance
win
of
out.
getting in. Yeah,
It's
they
not
got
gonna
to win out, and they got to get a lot of help. As we're having this conversations, let me go ahead and bring on Mr. Earl Robinson. The one thing that we also did talk about yesterday on the phone was about angles, and it looks like E-Rob brought his game today.
Got to get the angles right.
I was telling him
Angles.
he was
Angles are
hitting
big
us with
thing.
a couple tough ones. But as I wait for or boys, on your side, is Earl's camera blurry, or is it just on my end?
No, it's probably just you, dude.
All right, well, Jay, if you can hit us with the clap, let's welcome Packer enthusiast, Mr. Earl Robinson.
Packer enthusiast and insider.
Angles are big. I'm on my laptop today.
Angles, dude.
Yeah, had it, baby.
I hold the phone like this and talk.
What are we wearing? What are we wearing here?
Oh, this is just a little Micah Parsons jersey.
All right, that's who we're
Wow.
gonna need, and that's kind of the conclusion that we came to a little bit there. Borba, is yesterday when we were talking about how the Cowboys can get in. We started looking at so basically what the conclusion we came to is that there's basically three teams and they're all in your division, right? It's going to come down to the Packers because we're already making the assumption that the 49ers are in. So E-Rob, if you can just tell us 1 through what did we go 1 through 7 of guaranteed in. So we were discussing just that one playoff spot. If you can just talk about that real quick while I bring up the graphic.
Are you going to show the standings?
Yes.
Okay. So, yeah, I mean, I think that, right, there's going to be obviously 4 division winners. So, let's take, the NFC South is probably the easiest one. Like either the Bucks or the Panthers are getting in. I think both of them probably fall on their face a little bit these last few weeks, and one of them's going to be about 500 and get the 4 seed as their division winner. The other one's going to miss the playoffs.
Yeah.
And the NFC North, I think, will be interesting with the Lions, the Bears, and the Packers all fighting for, that spot to win the division. Each of those teams play each other. Packers still play the Bears twice. I think the Lions and Bears also play.
So I got the remaining schedule for you guys right here.
Okay, nice. Yeah, so
Wow.
that'll kind of shake out, right?
Bears are cooked.
Yeah, so that's what. So this is how we came to this conclusion. So basically, I'm like, all right, how did the Cowboys get in, and who do I need to root for? Because Earl's like, you got to root for the Packers on Thanksgiving. I was like, I don't know, should I? So basically, Cowboy fans, my Cowboy friends and family, what we're doing is we're kind of waiting for the result of that Packers-Lions game because we got to root for whoever ends up winning it, but I think it favors us more if we get on the bandwagon of Micah Parsons finishing off the year with the defensive player type performances here on the backstretch. Because, and I don't want to just side with Earl here because Earl's trying to get me on the wagon, and I'm like, no, bro, F y'all's teams because Earl's one of those, and E-Rob, I got you right here, so I'm saying it to your face, right? I'm not saying behind your back. Earl's one of those, he'll compliment my Cowboys, but he'll leave the conversation with a couple jabs, a couple little sneaky ones. So he'll be like, yeah, man, you guys did pretty good, but you guys are going to miss the playoffs. Like, you know what I mean? You guys look like Earl will call me and be like, man, you guys look great. It looks like y'all are coming back, solid defense. You guys are going to miss the playoffs, so just a reminder. And it's like, damn, man, you can't just let me know that my team's getting good, getting me hyped about week-to-week basis. You just hit me with the little nugget of they're probably going to miss the playoffs, which is true, which is kind of what we came to yesterday is we are going to need a lot of help. And as we do look at this, Borba, so the Bears have the toughest schedule. The Lions, we have the head-to-head matchup, and they kind of still have a tough schedule. And then the Packers, if they can just beat Chicago for us, that seems like the easiest way to get to the playoffs. So let's just go down Chicago's schedule here, and you guys tell me how y'all think it's going to turn out on these last 6 games. Okay, so we're sitting at 8-3, and just give me a yes or no. Do they beat Philly, Earl?
No.
Borba, no. Okay, so we're at 8-4. So Packers, we're both going to say
Let's
no,
just
but Borba.
hey, Renee, just go down the line, and me and Earl are going to be like, yes, no. We'll say it at the same time because this is a pretty easy list. And if Earl feels the same way that I feel about the Bears, dude, just call out the team, and we're going to say yes or no.
Okay, well,
Do
let
that
me
real
know
quick, dude.
what do you
'Cause
what do you. But first, give me your tell me, how do you feel about the Bears?
How do I feel? I told you how I felt. Well, so
Well,
I
don't
just
tell me. Tell
I
the
don't
show.
think I think the Bears they're putting it together, but they're not there yet. And their last 3 or 4 weeks, you are down by 10 points to Jackson Dart, gets a concussion. You guys come back. Cool. You guys play JJ McCarthy next. Literally the worst QBR since Jamarcus Russell. That's saying a lot about JJ. He's cooked. And then last week, Mason Rudolph comes in. So I think this team is their record is 8-3, but they could easily be, I don't know, 6-5 or something like that right now, 5-6, whatever.
Yeah,
I just don't. I think it's fraudulent.
Sorry, I was just going to add on to that. Right, go back 1 week before that. It took them a Hail Mary play to beat the Bengals 47-42.
Oh yeah,
right. The week before that, they lost to the Ravens without Lamar Jackson. They beat the Saints. Cool.
Okay, cool.
They beat the Commanders because Jane Daniels fumbled in field goal position and let them kick a field goal to win by a point. They beat the Raiders because the Raiders missed a game-winning field goal.
Yep.
And then they beat Dallas when I guess Dallas sucked.
That's probably
right.
only
they lost to the Vikings. They lost to the Lions. So they have. This is a bad comparison because I'm not comparing them to the Chiefs. I'm comparing them to the luck that the Chiefs had of winning close games last year, where every time the ball bounced in their favor. And I don't think that they're good enough, to continue that success against good teams. I mean, they could have lost to Pittsburgh with Mason Rudolph this week. Like, if Rodgers was playing, the Steelers probably win by 2 scores.
Yeah, so everything just seems to be falling in their favor. They feel like the easiest one of having a collapse. Okay, so with that being said, I think all right. So we all kind of agree. So let's just go down their schedule here.
They could lose out, dude. They could lose out.
They really could.
Schedule. Now that Shador is the best thing to come to Cleveland since MGK, like man.
Hey,
dude.
Yesterday we were a little hard on Kevin Stefanski, and then I go to Instagram and I think it was Bleacher Report that posted it. So Kevin Stefanski had similar speech when Gabriel had his playoff. His first playoff win. It was all about the team. He was talking about the team, bringing in the team, and then kind of celebrating in that game. He celebrated Junkins. Junkins had like 3 touchdowns, which is proper. And I guess whenever you pull it back and you take off those you just don't get offended about everything that comes Shador's way. You take off those blinders just a little bit. You go and you're like, all right, well, his message is just about the team, and he celebrated Myles Garrett's 3-sack performance, and then he celebrated a defense that had 10 sacks in a game. So I kind of get it, but to me, it's like you just got to read. You got to read the room.
So did we overreact to that?
The sea is hot. I think we did just a little bit, but
I listened to it. I feel like it was a little bit of an overreaction. Like Shador came in and won a game, but did you look at his stats? He was 11 of 20, 209 yards, 1 TD, 1 pick. It's not like he went out there and lit it up. He played well enough for them to win, something that Gabriel did not do. So I think he deserves props. I'm not hating on him, right? It's the Raiders, and he played well enough to win. So I don't know. I don't think you're going to go praise him like he's the next, Aaron Rodgers, Tom Brady quarterback.
My only thing, I do think we did overreact just a little bit, and it's Overreaction Monday, so that kind of comes with. I mean, the title of the show kind of tells you how Monday is going to kind of play out, but
it was intentional.
Yeah, almost, but in a sense, I do think you gotta read the room a little bit. Like all the noise surrounded around that, the fact that, to me, it's like the fact that a 5th round pick, because we get lost in the sauce about that, but we still have to judge them based on how he was drafted. And the fact that a 5th-round pick went out there, and there was a stat that came out yesterday that because of Shador is the first Cleveland quarterback this year to throw 2 passes over 30 yards in the entire season. He's got more passes down the field than any
people are
Browns
downplaying
quarterback this year.
Yeah,
I
people
just
are
think
downplaying it, I feel like, and they're still hating. But this is like, you haven't had this. You had a little bit of this with Baker, but before that, after that, you haven't had that at all. So it's like upside. You know what I mean? There's potential. And that's the thing that I think Cleveland wants, that they want to see is the potential.
All right, let me get y'all back on track because my brain made y'all swivel completely out of the conversation that we were having. That's the beauty about talking to me, right? You don't know what angle you're going to take or what conversation you're going to end up to. I've noticed that whenever I watch myself, whenever I'm editing the clips, and I'm just like, damn, how did I end up way out on left field? But anyway, so Chicago Bears, let's go through it. Ready? Philly, yes or no?
No.
No.
Green Bay?
No.
Browns?
Yes.
Yeah, sure.
Where's the
no?
game?
I'm gonna say no.
Where's it at?
Game is in.
I'm gonna say no, dude. I think Bears lose out. They might win one more game.
All right, so they're at Philly, at Green Bay, and then they're at home for the Browns and the Packers.
I'll give them the Browns game. I'll give them the Browns game.
I'll give them the Browns game too.
And then Packers at home.
9-5.
Packers at home?
No.
I think I'm gonna go no.
So you guys are gonna sweep them, huh?
Earl hesitated on the Packer game.
It's because I can already hear it. It's division.
It is
going to be close
on the road.
It's going to be close. And the thing is, Caleb Williams is hard to play. Like at times he can be Patrick Mahomes, and at times he can be JJ McCarthy.
Yes.
Yo, you see what I mean about those Southern?
I know, dude. I was just like,
I just want to see
if not wrong.
Agree with that or not.
He's not wrong, dude.
That's what I'm talking about right there. All right, go ahead.
Oh my god.
No, we're gonna sweep the Bears because Ben Johnson's comment when he got hired about how he wanted to stay in the division because he likes beating the Packers twice a year.
All right.
Before Bears shut him up.
Bulletin board material. All right, Niners after that.
No.
And then Lions at the end of the year, at home.
No.
Lions are going to be playing a playoff spot too, or they're both for the division.
Both are going to be playing for a spot for sure.
Dang! So you guys think they're going to get 1 win out of 6? So that'll put them at 9-9.
9-8.
Well, they're 8-3.
Yeah, dude.
Oh yeah, my bad. It's 5. I was counting 5. My bad. Hey, it's early.
Don't clip that out. Don't clip that out.
Yeah, put that in there, dude.
What were we talking about yesterday? Miss Montano will be so disappointed, E-Rob.
Yeah.
I brought up my math teacher yesterday. She would be so sad. All right, so now let's go through.
Renee, tell the question that you asked. We're on the phone, and you're like, "All right, it's 5:35. How many minutes until kickoff at 7:00?" And I was like, "I'm not answering that question. Like, you can figure that one out."
Dude, that's crazy, dude.
Yo, come on, man. All right, let's go through Lions one real quick. Packers.
I think the Packers win on Thursday.
They're in Detroit. Hey, I did see how do we feel about Jenkins not playing though?
Jenkins?
Or what? It was our offensive lineman that went out this past weekend.
Oh, he went out like 2 weeks ago, and I mean,
he's not gonna be back. Is from what I saw.
Yeah, it's a tough loss, but I think we've moved on.
Okay. All right. I just wanted to ask. I didn't know how significant the injury was. I just saw that it was a starter, so I thought I'd ask you. But okay, let's go through it. So Packers for Thanksgiving.
It's tough.
I'm taking the Packers, and part of me just questions how good the Lions are. Like, I think they have so much talent, specifically on the offensive side of the football. But then you look back, I mean, the Vikings beat them 3 weeks ago in Detroit, right? Then they lose to Philly, and then they should have lost to the Giants. And so there's something like they pulled that Giants game off, and they really should not have. Like the Giants interim coach should be fired for going for it. That's another one where they went for it instead of kicking a field goal. That was just horrible. Like, take the punt, make the Lions score a touchdown to beat you.
I'm looking at the Lions schedule now, and like anytime they played a tough team, they've lost. Like they lost week 1 to the Packers, they lost to the Chiefs 17-30, and they lost to the Eagles 9-16, and then the tough losses against the Vikings 24-27. They beat the Bears in week 2 52-21, but that, I mean, you could make the argument that they kind of just caught the Bears at the right time, right? So I agree with you here too. I'm gonna say the Packers as well. So we'll give them an L against the Cowboys. This is a Cowboy conversation. So we're making the assumption that the Cowboys are going to win this game to get into the playoffs. So I'm gonna go LL. But what do you guys think?
I think if they lose to Green Bay, they will beat you guys. I think because then that's a must win for them. If
and it's at home. It's in Detroit.
Yeah.
It's a high-scoring game.
Yeah.
High-scoring shootout.
Not a lot of defense going to be played.
Not a lot, dude. No secondary is going to be on the field.
They might put flags on for that game.
Yo, the disrespect. The boys got a defense now. What are we talking about? Are we talking about? The boys got a defense, bro.
I'll say that.
The boys got a defense. All right, so are y'all saying W or L?
I think they beat Dallas. Call me a hater.
Man. For some reason, I can see Dallas winning this game.
Okay,
I don't know why.
I like it. Okay.
So Rams just rubbing off on me because I have to talk to him every morning.
The reason I'm going to take Detroit is because, and Rene, I said this yesterday, not trying to be a hater, but like Dak lights it up at home and he's inconsistent on the road. I think it's good that it's a dome because dome is home, obviously. So dome on the road, he should play better, not having the weather. But I just think something about Dak on the road, he just does not play nearly as well. You guys always light it up at home. And that's why I think you guys have a good chance to beat the Chiefs on Thursday because that game's at home. But I don't love Dak on the road.
I feel the shift in momentum right now for the Cowboys. So it's hard I'm going to ride that momentum. Big win in Philly, a game that most people thought we were probably going to drop. I ride the momentum, especially if they beat Kansas City. It's going to be hard for me. It's going to be hard for you to talk me out. I guess it all depends on how this game looks on Thursday, really, right? Like if they just come out and dominate Kansas City, like we're looking at this team way different. So we're just going to make the assumption that does happen. Okay. So we're going to go ahead and give them an L. I'll just answer that one for you guys. Now tell me, I got Tim here waiting for us here. Tim, we'll throw you on here in about 4 minutes, if that's okay with you. Let us finish this segment. We got the Rams. What are we doing? L.
And
Steelers won. That's a tough one.
I think they'll beat the Steelers.
I think they beat them. Yeah, that's a win.
Okay. And then Vikings.
Win.
Gosh, man. And then Bears?
I don't know, dude. What if Max Brosmer is the next Tony Romo?
All right.
Wait, you're benching JJ?
He mysteriously went into like concussion protocol. So
I saw that. Is Carson Wentz done for the season?
Oh yeah, he's done. Yeah, he's done.
Oh yeah. He should have been done in that game, but somehow KOC.
Undrafted Minnesota Gopher. Max Brosmer making his first start, which he looks good, but we'll see.
Yeah, KOC. Backstory here. KOC trotted out a man with no shoulders back into the second half because he said that his guy wasn't prepared to play, which is Brosner, the guy that he just mentioned. So you take that as you will, but to me, I don't feel too confident about that going in. But okay, so then you guys are 3-3. You guys are saying they're going to go 3-3. So it's 10-7.
10-7.
10-7. But Dallas will have the head-to-head. Because I'm in the belief that Dallas ends up the season 10-6-1.
10-6-1.
Yeah. And if that happens, then we get in.
Okay.
So now the Packers,
Renee, maybe like that currently the Lions aren't in the playoffs, right? So you get in if you get that head-to-head over Detroit and the Bears fall on their face. Because you need one of the NFC North teams to fall out of the current 7 spots. And then you need the head-to-head on Detroit.
Yeah.
Correct. We'll be fine. I think that's how we get in. We got to root against the Lions. We got to root against the Bears. And we just got to hope that Micah Parsons does what he got drafted to the Green Bay Packers for.
Can you
That's
rephrase
what's
that
gonna happen.
and just say we got to root for the Packers?
Yep, we gotta root against the Lions, and we gotta root against
the Packers
Chicago.
are the division winners.
Yeah, we need the Packers to do their job. The unfortunate thing about this whole situation is that I am also rooting for myself to lose a bet to have to buy a polo because the Packers performed better throughout the season than the Dallas Cowboys. But sometimes you have to give up a little to get a little, and I think that's what I'm doing in this situation. But E-Rob, would you like to join us for the college conversation, or I know you got to get yourself to work? Are we going to work here?
I got to drop. But
all right, brother. Well, I appreciate you joining the show. Hopefully, you will be able to come on Thursday for a little bit. But I know everybody's going to be busy with the Thanksgiving festivities. But I love you, brother. Have a good week. And, yeah, let's have a week, bro. Earl Robinson.
All right. Thanks, guys. Later. See ya.
All right, bro. You ready to talk a little college ball, JB?
Yeah.
Dude, there's this conversation about Lane Kiffin. And Lane Kiffin won't answer it. But there's been a rumor about Lane Kiffin possibly being forced to make a decision. Well, you know, there's someone that probably has answers to that. And that would be our former UNM alum, the one, the only athlete of the year in my lifetime in school, Mr. Tim Foley. Yeah. We're here.
I think you're a little bit too generous on those accolades there, Rene, for me.
Bro, watch your own film. Watch your own tape. My boy had Tim took a couple ankles in his lifetime. Let's just say that. Tim took a couple ankles in his lifetime. And then every now and then, whenever people like myself think they're athletic and then they get matched up against a gentleman like Tim, you know, there's levels to this. And I got to accept that. That's why we're so generous to giving light to a bunch of athletes, because we got dogs in the room. But let's talk about the Lobos, that beautiful symbol that you have on your left chest there. How do you feel as a Lobo fan right now?
Oh, I'm ecstatic, man. When we beat Air Force this weekend, that was actually the first time UNM has won at Air Force in a quarter of a century. So in the last 25 years was the last time that they won there at Air Force. They won 20-3. There wasn't any crazy stats. Jack Lane was 10 of 15 for 105 yards and a rushing touchdown. The big thing is the game this week, though. With us winning that game last week, we are hosting San Diego State, who's first in the Mountain West. They're 1.5-point favorites here in Albuquerque, and if we win this game, we're going to be going on to play in the Mountain West Championship, which we haven't played in that game in 9 years. I believe the last time was 2016, and the last time that UNM was actually the Mountain West champions was in 1997. So it's been quite some time. And the game is actually this Friday. It's going to be at University Stadium, and they're doing a cherry out. So anybody that's going, make sure you put your cherry on.
Oh, bro, that's cool. They've been filling up that stadium, right? What does it hold, like 25,000?
I think the max capacity is like 33, 34, like with standing room and everything like that.
And the city seems to be buying in. That's cool. And with basketball starting and the football program still having so much attention on it is dope. Hopefully, the conversation that we have every time you come on is, are we going to be able to keep Coach Ag? Have you seen anything that shows you that he's going to possibly be staying? I know there was an interview about 2 weeks ago where he was saying that he went to the pro. He loves his AD for one. That's most important, and he likes the direction that program is heading. It would take. I'm paraphrasing here, but he was basically like saying it would take like some crazy offer, like an Alabama or a big five school, right, to come and pull him from UNM. But have you seen anything else that would make you lean towards him staying with the program?
Yeah, I mean, I think we're safe with Coach Eck at least for another year, unless we go out. If we win this game this weekend and then end up winning the Mountain West Conference, we very well could lose him. He's came out and said that really his dream job is to be the head coach of Wisconsin. That's where he played. He's a former alum over there, and they did fire their coach. So that's pretty much the only team that I think could poach him for us right this second. But there's going to be a lot of teams chomping at the bits, especially because of all the college coaching openings that are happening right now. There's not a lot of big names to fill all these coaching spots. And there's actually a huge hire that happened over the weekend for another school here in New Mexico that we can talk about a little bit later too.
And who's that? You want to just jump into it?
Yeah, definitely. So
You tell.
Eastern New Mexico, I played over there as well. They hired Art Briles. For those of you that don't remember who that is, he was the head coach at Baylor from 2008 to 2015. He was there whenever RG3 won the Heisman. He is AP Coach of the Year in the country in 2013, and then he was 65-37 at Baylor. He was also the head coach at Houston from 03 to 07, and was 34-28. He was a very big name head coaches in college football around 2015. And then I think there was some like scandals that happened at Baylor, some players getting in trouble for some things. And then he kind of just went to the wayside, and he's been coaching high school football since. He's an older guy, about 70 years old, but that's definitely the biggest hire for one of the smaller schools here in New Mexico. And it's a very big thing to be able to bring someone like that into Portales.
To ENMU, dang, let's go. How you also dressed up for the ENMU Greyhounds? How was that experience?
It was good, man. I actually there's a lot of friends that I made there that I'm still friends with to this day. We go see each other about once every 3 or 4 months. It's a great environment. If you like football, that's the town you want to be in. If you're into the big, flashy, big city stuff, that's not going to really be your place. But the way I looked at it was like a high school football feeling with everyone there. Everyone's by themselves. Everyone's away from family. Everyone's there to win, and it's an athlete town. There's not a whole lot to do. Lubbock is like an hour down the road. You can go there, but other than that, you're there to win. And I think they brought somebody in that can do that. Yeah, I had a great experience there. I tell everyone I traded the Jets and the steaks for the bus and the sandwiches, but I got kind of tired of getting beat on ESPN every week and wanted to go somewhere who actually won some football games.
Hell yeah! How did you guys turn out? What was y'all's record like over there?
I think my senior. So when I first transferred there, I tore my PCL in the third game of the season at Cowboys Stadium, and so I got my
Jerry's World.
in Jerry World, man. My first game playing in Jerry World, I tore my PCL and got a medical red shirt. That was supposed to be my senior year. I transferred to Eastern to go play my last year of football. Got 3 games in. I was actually leading the conference in punt return yards, and then tore my PCL and got that medical red shirt. And then the year after that, we went to a bowl game for the first time in like 30 years at Eastern or something like that.
Wow.
Yo, let's go. ENMU's got one, JV. Did we know that? Were you aware?
No, I just knew some of the guys that we went to school with ended up playing over there. Ryan Green.
Yeah, I drive
played
past
over there.
that pretty
Yeah.
little facility, I guess you could call it, right? It's pretty nice. They
Yeah.
got nice
No, yeah.
turf.
Mhm.
Yeah, I always drive by and I'm like, damn, man, maybe I should go kick some field goals and I could return to college and be like
Please.
a 34-year-old kicker. How dope would that be? Take some little 18-year-old scholarship? Come on, man.
For real.
Everybody else is doing it. Why not?
Hey,
You got
man.
people in the G League coming to play basketball out of college nowadays. It's like you could be 40. You guys see that story about the Compton dad that's going back to play with his son in like JUCO football or something like that?
Yep.
That is crazy.
Well, there's even a crazier story. Actually, there's this guy who's from overseas. I can't remember what, like either New Zealand or something like that. The NFL has like a path to be able to get international athletes to be able to play professional football, and he actually got invited to. I think he was at the Chargers mini camp, and he was there. He's like a huge dude, and now he's actually taking college visits, which is a little bit weird. And everyone's kind of up in arms about it, that a guy who was technically at an NFL minicamp is now taking college visits because he never went to college. Because I mean, he was playing professional. I can't remember what sport. It was either basketball or rugby or something overseas. And then so he has college eligibility. So now he's taking visits to places, and everyone's kind of like, all right, slow down a little bit. What's going on here?
Yeah, this is getting out of hand. At what point? At what point is college? They got to regulate it because at some point it's just going to become semi-pro football, right? And then
Yeah,
and
I
then
mean,
one conference is going to end up dominating the entire league, and we're going to end up seeing a conference monopolize the whole thing. I mean, I don't know that they'll ever let it get there, but at least that's the direction it feels like it's going. But dang. But let's talk about these college football playoffs. First question is: hell of a performance by Diego this past weekend? Is there a likelihood that Vanderbilt gets into the playoffs? I feel like I ask you this every week, but it feels the college football playoffs just seem like a hit or miss. And right now, I don't like what I see at 10 or at 11 and 12. So I feel like there's going to be a lot of pissed off people. I believe it doesn't come out till today, right? ESPN's college football
correct.
playoff rankings don't
Yep.
come out till today. But I'm looking at the one before, and at 11 and 12, you got BYU Cougars and Utah Utes. This was as of last week, though, so this could have changed coming into today, which we probably will see the drop here around 9 a.m. Mountain Standard Time. But what's the outlook on Pavia and Vanderbilt?
Yeah, so for Pavia, he had a record-setting night this last weekend, a senior night at Vanderbilt. He's the first quarterback to have six touchdowns. They beat Kentucky 45-17. He went 33 of 39 for 484 yards, 5 touchdowns, 1 interception. Then he also had a rushing touchdown. He had 15 carries. He was, again, the leading rusher on the team, 15 carries for 48 yards. That was the best performance in school history and really just cemented his spot. I think he moved up. He's like 4th in the odds to win the Heisman now. Just a phenomenal guy, man. I mean, it seems like back last year, whenever Kansas City, every other shot, they were showing Taylor Swift on the TV. Now it's Pavia's mom. Anytime anything happens, they move the camera over to her. So they're getting a lot of recognition. He's doing phenomenal. They have to win this week, though. They're closing out the season. They'll be playing at Tennessee. This is rivalry week in college football, one of the best weeks to watch college football. For those of you that don't normally watch it, this is the week to do it. You have all the rivalry games going on. This time last year, there was crazy stuff with the Michigan Ohio State game. I mean, there's a lot of fights that broke out. That game's going on this weekend. There's a lot of great football that's happening this weekend. And Vanderbilt is one of those games to watch as well.
And Tim, you mentioning Michigan, Ohio State, let me ask you this. That game means so much to those that are involved, right? For Michigan players and for Ohio State players. But because of the college football playoffs, is there a possibility that maybe Ohio State rests players? Or this game just means too much?
No, this game means too much, and they lost the game last year. So I mean, Ohio State is in a position that if they do lose this football game, they will still be in the college football playoff. But this is the one game that they don't hold back. I mean, you'd have people that take hours and hours out of their time to mark out every M on campus. Like there's a lot of M's and names on McDonald's, and they put a red X through everything. I mean, this game means more to people who have never even set foot on a football field. I mean, the rest of their year banking on how this game goes this weekend.
So I saw an interview with Dave Portnoy and Greg Olson yesterday and good old John Gruden, and they were talking about what situation would you rather be in? Obviously, I don't know if you guys follow Barstool or anything, but Dave Portnoy, massive Michigan guy. Honestly, you guys both look like two dudes that would follow Barstool like myself, so I'm gonna assume that we all do. But so anyways, Dave Portnoy, I guess the rivalry's so big or whatever, which it is. I'm not downplaying it, but he said he would rather beat Ohio State and not win the national championship than to lose to Ohio State and win the national championship. So the last year, Ohio State loses to Michigan but wins the national championship. The year before that, when J.J. McCarthy was doing great things and just handing the ball off to win games. Sorry, JB. But before that year, Michigan beats Ohio State and wins the national championship game. So he's like comparing like which one would you be? But coming into this year, I mean, I think the goal is to win a national championship regardless of how the season plays out, right? If you get into the dance and you get to the championship, that's the goal. I think that's everybody's goal. But because this got so much history on it, I mean, Do you guys feel like if Ohio State does lose to Michigan again, Jason Day, I think from what I saw, has never beat Michigan, right?
I believe so.
Yeah. So if let's just say hypothetically, if Day drops the game against Michigan again, but still wins a national championship, do you think his seat gets hot, or do you think because of how things have changed, we're not really looking at the regular season like we used to before? Because before, if Ohio State drops a game against Michigan, there's a good possibility that they don't see that championship game, right? Because there was only 2 selected at the time. So is it a failed season if they don't beat Michigan, regardless of what happens past this for Ohio State?
Yeah, so in Ohio State, Ryan Day would be on the hot seat if he loses this football game. Even if they do go win the national championship, they really do. There's a handful of things that universities look at whenever they are hiring coaches, and that's are you winning in the conference and are you winning your rivalry games? And this is one of the biggest rivalry games in the entire country, and that's been on Harbaugh's name. I think he only beat Ohio State one time in his entire coaching career at Michigan, and he has a national championship under his belt, and they still bring that up. I mean, that's just something that you can't run from. If you're you can lose every game in the season, but if you win that Michigan Ohio State game, your job is set for the next couple of years, and unfortunately, that's how it is. But in all reality, if he loses this football game, he's not going to be looking for a job. I mean, there's going to be a lot of people in Ohio that will be calling for it because it means so much to them, and it means so much to the program and to the state and everything like that. But you have to win these games, and it doesn't matter what happens after the game, because I mean, like, you can lose and still win the national championship, but everyone's going to remember that you lost the Ohio State Michigan game.
Yeah. So every time you say we won a championship, it's going to be followed by but you lost to Michigan.
Exactly. Yep. And
Jason Day can't win.
Yep. And the problem is everyone in the country is going to be watching that football game too. So it's not just a fan base thing. It's literally everyone in the entire country.
Yeah, gosh, bro, that is crazy. That's crazy. Another big game is going to be Texas versus Texas A&M. I don't know if that's still a rivalry. Is it? Is that still a big rivalry? It's not as big, right, as Oklahoma and Texas.
It's definitely not as big as Oklahoma and Texas, but anytime you're playing an in-state school, it's always going to be a rivalry, especially this with 2 top teams going at it. Texas A&M is only 2.5-point favorites, which actually surprised me a little bit. I thought that they would be favored a little bit more than that, even playing at Texas. But it's a huge game for both programs. I believe it's a bigger game for Texas. Texas needs this win. If they win this football game, there is going to be a push for them to make the college football playoff, especially because having 3 losses, they've lost to some pretty good football teams. And then if they win this, they would have beat 3 top 10 teams in a season, which I believe the last time that happened was Joe Burrow when he was at LSU with the greatest offense of all time. So like there is arguments for that. And then a lot of people are talking about how Arch actually, this last week, he had a record-setting night as well, too. He's the first quarterback in Texas history to have a receiving touchdown, a passing touchdown, and a rushing touchdown all in the same game. I saw this graphic of they put his numbers for the last 8 games up against Julian Sain, who's the quarterback at Ohio State, who's like top 3 in the Heisman voting, and they're very similar numbers-wise. He just gets a lot more scrutiny because of who he is and the record at Texas, but they have played significantly better football teams, I believe, than Ohio State has this year.
Yeah, that's for sure. But do they get in? That's the question. How do you think we get in? When I say we, I'm talking about really myself. I'm just bringing y'all aboard with it. But do we get in?
If you beat Texas A&M this weekend, there is a very good chance that Texas gets in the college football playoff, but they have to win this football game.
They're going to be shown a little bit of favoritism, right? Just because of the name factor. Like, as much as we want to say that doesn't play a factor in it, let's be real. If it comes down to 2 teams that are right there on the edge, you are going to go with popularity just a little, at least in my opinion. I think they will. But this will be a massive win. This is the number 3 ranked team in the country. So if Texas does get this win, I do like our chances of getting into the college football playoffs. What else is there out there for us, Tim?
Just to finish that Lane Kiffin thing that we had brought up.
Oh, yup, duh.
So there is some talk
Little
last week.
backstory. Set the table real quick. So
Yeah,
Lane Kiffin.
so Lane Kiffin is he's the head coach at Ole Miss. They're having a record-setting season. They're 10-1, I believe, right now. This is the best they've done there. They don't really win in Oxford like that, but since Lane Kiffin's gotten there, they have been. They are set to be in the college football playoff. They are playing in the Egg Bowl this week, which is a rivalry game against Mississippi State. And the AD came out last week because Lane Kiffin he's always been a high-profile coach. And now his name is being brought up for playing or being the next head coach at LSU. His son won a state championship in Mississippi last week as a player, and in pregame he was wearing these LSU headphones, which everyone's kind of like, does that mean something? And
What does his son play? What position?
I can't remember. I want to say quarterback. I'm pretty sure his son plays quarterback. And they
Makes sense.
yeah, and so he had actually flown out to LSU a couple weeks ago to hear their offer. Rumors are talking about this LSU offer would make him the highest paid coach in NCAA football. And he hasn't come out and straight said what he's going to be doing. And the AD came out last week and said, we will come out with a press conference after the Egg Bowl with a decision to be made. And we're kind of in limbo. Like I hate that this is happening now, but this could possibly happen to where a coach who is a 10-1 team, 11-1 team about to be going into the college football playoff and could not be coaching that football team. But then there could also be a situation where he's coaching that football team knowing that it come January, he's going to be in Louisiana. So everyone was talking about, I think like in the 90s, there was a Michigan basketball team that was going into the dance, and same thing happened. The coach took a coaching job elsewhere while in the tournament, and they said, Michigan being Michigan, they said, we only want Michigan people here coaching our kids. So they didn't even let him finish the tournament. And then they went and won the national championship with the assistant coach as the head coach. So there are some scenarios, and it could be crazy. Like imagine bringing a program deepest it's ever been, and then you don't even finish the year with them because you got a head coaching job somewhere else. I don't believe that would be the stance that Ole Miss would take, because he's a big reason why they are in the position that they're in today. But there is that possibility that he does take the LSU job after this game this weekend, and he isn't the coach at Ole Miss anymore. So I mean, there's a lot of stuff that's up in the air. I feel bad for the kids at the program because they're just trying to get ready for a football game. They don't even know if their head coach is going to be their head coach next week. So I'm sure there are internal talks.
Do we feel bad though? Really? Like, because they're just gonna follow him.
Some of them, I mean, not the majority of the kids that are playing college football today are not those getting big NIL deals. A lot of them can't just up and leave. You know what I mean? I mean, they want to, and they say then they're going to threaten that, but in reality, it's the cream of the crop that really is getting these huge NIL deals and being able to go wherever they want. Just because you enter the transfer portal doesn't mean you're going to fall back anywhere. A lot of kids enter the transfer portal end up going back to the same school that they were in because nobody took them. Because I mean, who wants somebody who's picking a different school every year? I mean, you want to be able to like set tradition and values within your program. And you can't do that if you're having to rebuild that every single year. I mean, it's a problem that every team's having to face, but it's the same thing with James Franklin. Whenever he went to Virginia Tech, there was a numerous amount of Penn State commits that decommitted and are now committed to Virginia Tech because they're not going to the school. They want to go play for a certain coach.
They want for the coach, yeah. Which is why I think Lane Kiffin should stay at Ole Miss. You're the product. Allow them to come to you. You know what I mean? Like, you've already set your foundation. Now just focus on winning. Because at the end of the day, like, it's not like Lane Kiffin's won a national championship as a head coach. Like, right. Are we also overreacting to the fact? It's like right now, you know how a bunch of athletes are just cashing in by going to Saudi Arabia? That's what it feels like. That's what it feels like in college football. It's just like get your cash while you can right now, because at some point it's going to get regulated, and those contracts aren't going to be up in the air like they are right now. But let's all remember that coaches' contracts are fully guaranteed. So don't feel too bad for them. Don't feel too bad for them at all.
Yeah, and they're in a better place now players are in college football than 10 years ago, like when I was playing. Like say, back in the day, a coach could leave, they're still getting paid from the school they were at. They get a new head coaching job where they're getting 2 different paychecks, and the kid who wants to leave will have to sit out a year, waste a year of eligibility just to go transfer somewhere else. And that wasn't fair, that a coach can leave without any precaution, without anything that they have to do, but yet the players have to sit out a year if they want to transfer. And back then they wouldn't even let you transfer if it was within conference. So they are in a better place, and I'm happy that the players are able to advocate for themselves like that. But like you said, it is the Wild West, and we do need some sort of regulation, and it will be coming. I don't know if you guys saw, because they had a few weeks ago had made the ruling that college football players can bet on NFL games, and they actually walked that back this last week. They actually said, wait, hold on. Actually, we're not going to allow that. So there's a lot of stuff that's ever changing. It's going to be changing every year because it's the Wild West, and they're having to create this standard of something that's never been done before. So there's going to be a lot of changes, and I'm advocating for all the players to go get that money while you still can, because it's not always going to be there. And a lot of kids are making more money in the NCAA right now than they will be as a rookie in the NFL.
Yeah, that's for sure. So definitely it's like Diego Pavia. Should you try to have that argument of you staying? Yeah,
there's no rush for a high guy, a high name guy like a Pavia to rush into the draft. Keep developing.
The product's only going to get better.
Yeah, exactly. Mm-hmm.
I mean, we look at basketball, right? The one thing that it reminds me of is like that Hurley team with UConn. It's like they had, the year that they won the national championship back to back, they had almost an entire roster full of juniors and seniors, mainly seniors. Like that's exactly how you want to develop your program, is to have guys stay there, develop, and then that way they are NFL or NBA ready once they go into the draft. But damn, man, good stuff. Tim, this is the last week of college football before the college football playoffs start. Anything that we're missing here that you'd like us to know?
Just a couple more games to look out for this weekend. Arizona against Arizona State will be a good game. Arizona State is 2-point dogs. Clemson versus South Carolina is going to be a very good game. It's another in-state rivalry. And obviously we talked about the Vanderbilt and Tennessee game. Rivalry weekend this week. Next weekend's conference championships, and then we'll see the Army-Navy game the following week, and then we jump straight into bowl season, which is it's a crazy time. I love it. I love being able to see all these different bowl games and a lot of people being able to play in the postseason. And there should be a lot of shuffling with players and coaches that come this offseason. So we'll have a lot to talk about this next year.
Bro. Tim, I appreciate you joining us. Ladies and gentlemen, UNM alum, Mr. Tim Foley. Thank you, Tim. Yes, appreciate you, brother. Well, JB, we're bowl eligible.
Yeah.
UNM making some noise. I love it.
Good.
I love it. I love it.
What we need.
We're back. Hopefully we can keep the boys. That's the most important thing, though, right? Can you keep the current roster? And do we have enough money? Do we have enough rich people in New Mexico to be able to fund that program to keep coach like Coach Eck or our top elite athletes there at UNM? But college football, man, it's going to get fun. This is the playoffs are about to start for them. They close out those spots this week. Hopefully the Horns get in. College football will be better. College football playoffs will be better if Archie Manning is in.
Yeah, I'd like to see Texas
Pavia.
and possibly Vanderbilt make it. That'd be good.
Yeah. Just why not? The Cinderella story of college football. I'm here for it. I was told by a little birdie, because I heard a little chirping and I was just like, how come what's the dislike for Pavia? I guess dude was kind of a jerk back in the day. But
could be a
whatever.
jerk, cocky, a little too confident, maybe a little bit of a trash talker. I could see that. A dude out of New Mexico has a big head,
as they say, right?
It happens, man.
Oh man, I hope it works out. I hope they can get into the playoffs. When I say we, it's because we jumped on the bandwagon several weeks ago, and we would love to stay on that bandwagon and ride it as high as we can. Just to enjoy the run, really enjoy the run, as all you guys should be too. But man, that polo that he was rocking, that was a clean polo, huh? You got any? Cool. You got any UNM gear?
I had a couple shirts. I got a couple T-shirts, a couple tanks. for the gym.
Takes.
But yeah, I need a polo or something like that, man. Makes you look good. I need a polo and a quarter zip. I need a quarter zip too. Maybe a UNM quarter zip, dude. That would be dirty. That would be nice. UNM quarter zip.
Dude, I'm thinking if they win this week or if they win Friday, as he said, we should get some UNM gear. We should get some UNM gear and rock it on Monday's show for Overreaction Monday. Are you on for that?
Yeah, when would I'd be down. When would the bowl game be if we do make it there?
It would be, I believe, in like 2 weeks. So they get 1 week off, and then I think it's the week before Christmas because they moved up the playoff schedule. Here, look,
let's go to it, boys. Everybody, let's get ready to go for it. Might as well.
Bro. Wait, you want to go to the bowl game? Is that what you're saying?
I don't know where it would be at. I don't know if it's in Albuquerque or not, but I mean, that'd be fun.
Yeah, it would be cool. Here's the playoff schedule. Let's see. So the playoffs start December 19th. So I'm going to assume that's when the bowl games start as well, right? So yeah, so
possibly.
So they take a week off and then they come back and we'll have the bowl games. But dude, JB, you want to know what pissed me off yesterday is my boy CeeDee Lamb is getting a bunch of hate, and it's coming from the Dallas Cowboys media itself, which is what I told you yesterday is I knew that somehow, some way, our crappy media was going to spin CeeDee Lamb's drops into something more than what it actually is. There was conversations on Dallas Cowboys 105.3, the Fan broadcast, the main radio show for the Dallas Cowboys, and they're out on CeeDee Lamb. They're trying to turn CeeDee against George Pickens, talking about possibly the Cowboys or CeeDee being maybe jealous of the success that George Pickens is having. I hate it. I personally, it really pissed me off because I'm like, what are we doing? Why are we citing? Oh, look, Tim just dropped this. Mm-hmm. If it's the New Mexico Bowl, it will be 12:27, and I can get you guys in zone tent tickets. Cap, is he lying to us right here?
That sounds good.
Is he lying to us right here?
I don't know.
Tim, I'm gonna hold you to that.
I don't think so, dude.
Hold you to that.
Dude, that'd be fun.
We would go. Would we go? We would go.
On the 27th, what do I have the 27th?
That'd be tough because it is like right after Christmas.
Man. You know what?
A day trip for the show? Come on.
Yeah, that would be fun. I just don't know if I'll be in New Mexico.
Oh, like
I
literally.
might be in California, unfortunately. But you know where I'm gonna be actually? Now that we mention it, I'm gonna be going to the 49er and Bear game on December 28th.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Right. So you're going to be in Cali.
Yeah. So.
And the home of the gays.
Wow.
Sorry. Yo.
Get canceled now.
Yeah, rip that out. I love my colored peoples.
Yeah, it's going to be.
Or my rainbow peoples. That's what I meant to say. Tim, Hook. Yeah.
That would be fun.
Adrian's about to get a college experience if Borba don't show up, bro.
No, man.
I'm there for it, Tim. We will discuss it, and we will be repping the UNM Lobos. Come on, baby. Come on, Lobos. Let's finish strong, baby. Let's finish strong, and let's wind up that GoFundMe basket to keep these boys. I'll donate. I mean, it won't be much. It'll be my $10 or $12, but I'll dip something into it. But JB, yeah, man, yesterday that shit pissed me off. So I had to come on with the CeeDee Lamb jersey just to remind our folks, remind our fans. Someone like our friend Raul Castro, right? Where he like kind of overreacts. He was probably one of those that was like, we got to trade CeeDee Lamb. That was probably his reaction after.
What's the buzz going on about Lamb though? That he's not a real number one, or what's going on?
Yeah, he's lost it. Take a spot. They're saying he's lost it. That maybe it's time to move on from CeeDee Lamb and pay George Pickens, which it's like, hey boys, how about we just enjoy the toys that we have right now? How about we embrace the fact that George Pickens is probably balling out because he's getting a lot of one-on-one coverage.
Yeah,
and now CeeDee Lamb's going to reap the benefits of George Pickens' success. You just got to allow it to play out. We can't overreact. We can't overreact. I know that we want to. They do a daily show, so I understand. that you're a prisoner of the moment.
Yeah, you got to get some content.
But we get to choose how we dissect it. And if your initial reaction is to completely downplay someone's personality, not calling them a fake leader, that's a pretty massive jab right there. To call someone fake that you've brought onto your show, and now immediately they have a bad game or two, and you turn your back on them and call them fake. Like, to me, 105.3 might be the fakest of them all. Those thick boys, thick, may be the biggest backstabbers of all time. Let me show you what they said, JB. Let me show you what they said. And before we'll end the show with this clip and Borba's reaction. Also, Dak Prescott being the face of Dallas yesterday posted the clip, if you guys saw it, whenever I said Dak Prescott, if he won a Super Bowl, will be the greatest Dallas athlete of all time.
No.
And I got a lot of no's. I'll tell you that, JB.
Yeah.
Got about 20 of them. A lot of nope. Just one word answers too. No explanations. It's just like nope. And that was on my personal one. So then I also posted on SOL's page on TikTok. If you guys don't follow at SOL Speaking Out Loud. And that one was a little bit confusing because that one didn't get as much engagement comment-wise, but it got 50 likes. So I don't know I don't know which one's more telling. I guess that's what I should say, right?
Whoever you're getting the
This
responses
is the conversation.
from.
CeeDee Lamb is acting like a fake leader. Right now, CeeDee Lamb is acting like a fake leader. He's a fake leader. And I wanted to jump fully on board because he charms us and wins us over every year when we sit down with him in Oxnard. And he is real and he is genuine. And I do believe he is an absolute beast, and he is a number one receiver. He's not this team's number one receiver right now. You better be damn sure Brian Schottenheimer, while drawing up the Chiefs game plan, is thinking he better be thinking of George Pickens 1B, and then CD. Real leaders don't act like this.
All right, that was clever. I'll give him that. 1A, 1B, not CD. All right, A, B, C, D. I get it, big boy.
Michael Jordan misses a big shot. Go watch The Last Dance. Go watch when MJ rims out against the Pacers or turns it over against Orlando. Head down, walks to the bench, walks back out into the arena. Not hands up towards other people. It's just, I messed up. It's part of it. I'll slit their throat next time. CeeDee Lamb with all the theatrics and the blaming and the whining. And I said this last week. You want to laugh and have your swag and show your wrist and your watch and your smell to the first down when you're winning and dominate. But when you're throwing up and you can't hold, as Atolo said, can't hold his liquor and can't hold a football. When things aren't going right, where are you to be found? You don't show up and talk to the media? What? You got to talk. You don't own it? You can own it after a win. You don't sit there and be like, good for GP, good for the rest of the team. You duck out. If that is what happened. If that is what happened, again, we didn't have Bobby there to relay it. That's fake leadership.
When you win, you should not like.
Bro, the way that ends, whether or not that happened, like, doesn't even know, hasn't even confirmed it, but that was his take right away. And on the show yesterday, I did mention that I did not like when CeeDee Lamb dropped the ball and immediately he looked at Dak and said, "Get me here in the corner." A little more animated than just right here. Obviously gets to the sideline, to the bench. Looks frustrated. But I would rather see passion from my wide receiver than I would to see an A.J. Brown situation where it looks like he's disinterested. You know what I mean? I would like to see myself a little more spark than just someone that goes and just acts like a robot. I'm glad that he's animated. I'm glad that he's flustered with himself. I'm glad that he's willing to embarrass himself on national television. Like, he's aware that there's millions of cameras in that stadium that are going to be on him through his theatrics. Like, he obviously wants it to be known that he's frustrated. And I think if you put a microphone to CeeDee Lamb's face, he's going to take accountability for it and say that he's going to be better, as Dak has said before. And Dak said in the press conference, I'm looking forward to the response from CeeDee Lamb. And CeeDee Lamb is probably at that point right now where it's like there's nothing I can say to ease this pain. Because words don't mean anything. Our actions do. So you don't jump on CeeDee Lamb's back unless it happens again on Thursday on Thanksgiving against the Chiefs. That's all I'm saying. I'm just saying slow the roll. Don't turn your back on one of the most elite players that we've had in the Cowboys organization. Like, relax, thick boys, chill. Because all that negativity that you're pushing on a team that is trying to make a generational run and get into the playoffs, what side are you on? Who are you rooting for? Because it don't feel like you're on this side. And you got a star on your chest, but somehow you're putting down the one team that you supposedly follow and love. And I get you're just trying to hold their feet to the fire. But read the room. The situation that we're in now, we're trying to make a run to the playoffs. With that being said, I appreciate you guys rocking with us today. We'll be back tomorrow at 6:30 Mountain Standard Time, where you can call in at 575-808-9307. JB, hell of a show. Tim, Foley, UNM alum. Watch that boys tape. Appreciate you for coming on. E-Rob, appreciate you for coming on. What a great show. JB, I'll see you first thing in the morning.
I'm going to be out of town.
Yep.
I'm going to be missing tomorrow.
He's going to be coming. He's going to be coming live on Thursday, though, hopefully.
Friday.
From Cali. From Cali. Shout out, JB. And hopefully we'll be at UNM, at a UNM game here down at the end of December. With that being said, I appreciate the prayers from my mother. My mom did come out of surgery successful. She's in a little bit of pain, but she's grinding through it. So I appreciate the prayers, guys. I love you guys. Thanks for rocking with us. We'll see you guys tomorrow in the morning. Don't forget, be a friend. Tell a friend something nice. It might change their life. Shout out PMS. See ya.